Hey, pals. It's Dan here. You maybe are listening to this episode first. Maybe you just sort of started tapping around wildly and landed on this episode. If so, you won't have heard my message in the other episode that all you're going to hear in this episode is the scene-by-scene synopsis of Beauty and the Beast. The reason is that we're trying a new format. We're trying to get our content a little bit tighter, let people dig into all that great MusiPals stuff if they want to, or just give them what they love the most, which we think is our bits, but who knows. So you're going to get the synopsis in this episode, but if you want the rest of the episode, nerd alert, and it's a MusiPals life and all the bits, pause this, go to the one episode prior, and jump right in. And then there will be more instructions there. Okay, bye. Oh, and I forgot again. Definitely let us know how you feel about this new format. We're just trying it out. It's just a test. So if you hate it, tell us. If you love it, also tell us. Okay, enjoy the show. So let's jump into the synopsis, huh?
Okay.
I have to make note of that, the opening Disney scene. You just you get so nostalgically overwhelmed when you see that castle and the Disney scene.
Yes,
I know
and that
that's not part of the musical
the voiceover
at all,
story. Yeah,
it's so good. No, I
so
mean
good.
the actual intro.
Oh, just Walt Disney Studios.
Yes,
I get it.
It makes you so happy.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, oh, I'm a child and nothing can go wrong.
Yep, pretty much, exactly. I have no worries and no fears.
No worries.
All my dreams are not yet crushed.
Oh, the sadness.
Yeah, and so then we kick it into the party. The prince is getting ready for the party. He's wearing a lot of makeup. I wonder if...
Well, that's something that I absolutely loved about this live action version was they really paid attention to the history of it and the time period that it was taking place in. Yeah, and that's how French people would have looked, especially French aristocrat and a prince. That's what they would have looked like, wearing that much makeup and having that extravagant of a party. And
he wears a ton of makeup, to an extent that he's almost in drag. I mean,
that's what they looked like, though.
Yeah, that's great. I'm curious, what happened? Why is that not anymore? Probably Donald Trump happened.
I used to know the history of all that makeup stuff, but I forget. But historically, men wore more makeup than women did.
Yeah. I wish it was still that way today. Do you know how good my beard would look with a little powder in it?
I know how good your beard would look with a little powder in it. Don't pretend like I don't know how good your beard would look.
Surrounding some red lips. Beautiful.
I wish if anyone knows how to Photoshop and can put
please don't Photoshop makeup
some French ass Versailles makeup on Dan.
Snapchat had a makeup filter in it. Oh man, I'll send you the picture. We'll post it on Twitter.
I think everyone's dying to see. I know I am. I'm excited.
So then
but I loved the historical accuracy in the costumes and the makeup.
Yeah,
throughout
cool.
Throughout this version, because you don't really get that in the cartoon or the Broadway version. So
not the Broadway version either.
No, the Broadway version, the costumes are pretty much identical to what they were in the movie. Just
oh, okay, that makes sense.
And this was there was a lot of detail and a attention to historical accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool. And then a very, very momentous occasion occurs next that I was so excited to tell you. Through that my MusiPals Musicals 101 appreciation of musicals course is paying off. I recognized Audra McDonald.
Yes.
I recognize her. I was like,
Yes,
I know that
yes,
person.
yes,
I
yes,
saw
yes.
the woman singing the aria, and I was like, I know who that person is.
Yes.
And it took a while. It took a minute, but I was like, that's that person.
That's
that
my
I made
queen.
Fun of, that I didn't actually make fun of because I was talking about the different.
Yeah, you didn't know who you were talking about, but then you
Yes.
were like, "Wow, I recognize my beautiful queen."
Yes.
Isn't her voice
beautiful
exceptional?
queen. Yeah, it's very.
Isn't she
operatic.
so fun?
It's it's nice.
You love it, and she's perfect. You have to love it. There's no choice. That's the rules of this.
All right, I love it. I loved every minute of it. It was beautiful. I tried to sound like a robot there. Did it work?
You said everything right, so I'm happy.
Yeah, so they're having the party, and then the old hag breaks in, offers a rose to the prince if only she can stick around. What I love about this is that she ends up being a beautiful enchantress. And so really she's just a prankster. All she is just a magical prankster. Like, she didn't need to break in like that. She could have just flown in, put her spell on the beast and walked away, but she wanted to pull a little prank, pull a goof on him. A magical goof enchantress, goof trantress. That doesn't work.
Wow, goof chantress.
Goof trantress. I feel like I'm having a stroke every time I try to say that. The rose, they did a really cool job in the movie with the rose in the glass jar, because like that's such like an iconic symbol, and it's so iconic for me because I remember that my mom used to have she was really in the 90s and early 2000s. She was really into sweaters with giant pictures on them. And so she had sweaters like without a hoodie. So she had one that was Beauty and the Beast with the rose on it, and then she also somewhat related. She had like a baby pink sweatshirt, like the ugliest pink you can think of, and plastered across the entirety of it was just a close-up of Celine Dion's face, and she wore that damn sweatshirt every week, once a week.
I had a really cool pink sweatshirt that had the girl cat from Aristocats on it.
Oh, nice.
That I loved so much, but we went river rafting, and my sweatshirt was off, and our canoe tipped over.
We
weren't rafting, we were canoeing, but it was like harder water, and I lost the damn sweatshirt, and it was my favorite sweatshirt.
Oh, that's so sad.
So sad.
So sad. I'm so sorry.
It's not related, but I wanted to get that off my chest.
So that you can ask our listeners if anyone still has an Aristocrat sweatshirt, and you could mail it to Katie.
And knows where I could buy one. Like, I would love it.
Yeah, or if you just find it online and send us the link.
Yeah, I'd love to hit that up on Amazon if you've seen it recently. Let me know.
All right, so then is there anything else you want to say about the party or about my mom's pink sweatshirt?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah, all right. And then we get into Belle's intro, and God, I know you got something to say about Emma Watson, but just the moment she enters the scene, it's just she's just perfect.
I think she's delightful. I think she was a wonderful choice. I think she was the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great. I don't get, this is my one statement, and then I have one more complaint. I don't get why they super auto-tuned her voice so much.
Yeah,
I don't need her voice to be perfect. Like,
yeah, they really auto-tuned
I'm
it.
fine with it like sounding real.
Yeah, I'm sure they wanted a pretty darn perfect, like buttoned up.
But they
show.
auto-tuned her so much, and they didn't edit other people's voices so much, so it stood out like a sore thumb. Like, this is the tone deaf one. Like, or like Disney like layers other people's voices in a lot of times. So like, I don't know why they didn't do that too.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that would have made sense. Just like add a little extra.
Yeah, just like mix it with hers. Like Disney's famous for it. They've done it so many times. So it didn't bother me, and I'm fine with it. And I don't really care how she sounds, because I think she was the right choice, and she was great in it. But I
Yeah,
it was so strange. Like, why are you editing this so much?
Yeah,
there's no need.
They probably could have held back a little on the auto tune for sure. Culturally, it's just perfect because I think like she is like an incredibly intelligent, obviously beautiful. But like everyone loves Emma Watson mostly, even if it's just for her role as Hermione.
Yeah, I mean, she's not like a great actress. She's playing herself, but like she's so charming and delightful and wonderful. Like she is Belle. It's great, and she is
really
Hermione.
Yeah,
you know,
like, at least the perception of her that we all have, she is Belle. So, loves books. A very strong feminist, but yeah. So freaking fantastic casting. Loved it.
Yeah.
And we get her introduction here, where we've got all the this quaint, delightful, judgmental, and generally intolerant town just hanging out with her.
Yeah, I thought it was a great opening sequence. It was very fun.
It was nice. Yeah, they did. I'm really like, I love when you can't really tell, and the Sound of Music was this a lot too, if the set was on location somewhere or was an actual set. Like that means you've done a good job with the set.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it looked really beautiful.
It was awesome.
The only thing was like they changed like just tiny changes they made that I was like, this isn't necessary, and it's like weird.
Like what?
And it wasn't even anything. It was just like the baker doesn't interrupt her. It doesn't interrupt Belle. And she like kind of like wanders like wide-eyed through it at some points and is like, no, she hates this town. She wants to leave. And this town is mean to her. You
don't think she does that in the cartoon? It's been so long, but you don't think she's like...
No, her nose is like in the book the entire time.
Oh. Yeah, I wonder why then.
But, I mean, I still very much enjoyed it, but it was just like, why did you didn't have to change that? Maybe they just wanted people to see Emma Watson's face.
Maybe. But maybe they wanted the audience to get the sense that like this town is very nice, but it's got a seedy sort of underbelly, and that's that the people aren't tolerant of a woman who can read. Like even though it looks nice on its I feel like the point of that whole song, she says, I want much more than this. It's like, I hate being here. These people don't get me. I don't get them. Like, nothing of this is for me. Yeah, that's true. And yet she's sort of like, here's my town.
It's like, wow, this town is so cool. Like, no, it's not, Emma. It's not.
But it is.
You hate it. It is cool to be on set. It's not cool to be in this town.
I also just think that, like, it plays so nicely with her, just the adorable Emma Watson, too. Just look at her all wide-eyed and happy. Although she's incredibly intelligent, so I guess that kind of counters that. But anyway.
Yikes. You love her so much.
Oh, my God, so much. She's all 5 of my celebrity top 5. So.
That's pretty funny. That's cute.
And then the other casting choice, who I had no opinion on until fairly recently, and now I think he's America's sweetheart, Josh Gad.
Josh Gad is America's sweetheart. He's delightful.
He is America's sweetheart. It's official, and he's amazing. I love him.
He's so great. One of my favorites is he like plays a character on New Girl that's hysterical.
Bear Claw.
Bear Claw.
Yes. He's a really versatile actor. Like he can play
so funny.
He can play a goofball in a musical, or he can play like a really freaking weird guy in a sitcom. He's
still always a goofball, but just delightful. We love Josh Gad.
He's incredible. He really, really is great.
You know who's a weird though? Who's the actor that plays Gaston?
Luke Evans.
Luke Evans is not big enough to be Gaston. He's like a normal sized man, like on the smaller side. Gaston is supposed to be very tall and very thick. And Luke
like
Evans is like
a little bit
trim.
Yeah. I guess
not even overweight, just like his muscles are like beefy, like a thick man.
No, he's like he thinks he's toner than he is. It's like because he's got like a little gut. I think in the movie they show that he's got like a little gut because he's like
and he like sucks it in to impress her.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, and he's like the same height as her dad. It just like was like, this is not the hottest guy in the village. This is like a decent looking guy. This is not the hottest guy in the village.
And they wrote him as a total bro. Like, Gaston is such a bro. Like, I would see him at Wrigleyville any day.
Yeah, and you will.
Yeah. And I will.
Some mediocre man, like, thinking he's exceptional.
Oh my God, how many bros are going to play Gaston or be Gaston?
Oh my gosh, yes, you're right.
God.
And then, like,
so
slutty bells
many.
everywhere.
All they have to do is just be exactly what their normal person is. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy is right.
All right, so we've been, in that one song, we're introduced to quite a few people.
Oh, yeah, huge.
So that's nice. And then we jump into Papa, Kevin Kline, who I love Kevin Kline. He's a great actor.
Love Kevin Kline.
So underwritten, I guess.
Amazing.
Character, but he's singing How Does the Moment Last Forever. Building clocks. Man, I want to build some clocks. I can't even build Legos, but I would love to build some clocks.
Yeah, it was cute. And he's very sweet and gentle. Loved it.
Yeah. It was nice. Yeah, it was a little quick song, and then she learns about, we learned a little bit about her mom.
I know. It was nice to have backstory in this movie. I liked that they added mom stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when they weirdly time travel. But
that was so strange.
But yeah, very cool.
I'm very well educated. Oh no, I've had a very expensive education. All right, Beast, calm down.
Yeah.
We get it. You're a damn prince. All right.
You got a giant library. And you haven't spoken to another human in like 12 years.
Okay, you turned into a beast on a curse. I think you can calm the ego down a little.
You are literally a human bear. Get over it. So then Belle's doing the laundry, and she invents. Are we to assume that Andrew Lloyd Webber is expecting us to assume that Belle invented the washing machine here? Do you think?
That was the point. Emma Watson in all her interviews was like very proud that they made Belle very feminist because she's the inventor instead of her dad, and she like invents a washing machine. Because in the cartoon, her dad's like a crazy inventor and whatever.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And Belle's just like, oh, my crazy dad inventing another thing. But they made Belle the inventor, which is like a fine change. It didn't bother me, but I was just kind of like, this was unnecessary, I think.
Yeah,
but
it works though, because it shows her as an individual, especially when they're like another girl reading.
Yeah, that was like so annoying. This town sucks.
Yeah, but it's delightful. It's delightfully intolerant.
Amazing. That like one like really skinny, scary looking lady with the weird hat.
Yes, she looks like a witch.
It's like, wow, I'm afraid of you.
What's she doing?
Good casting, because she looked really scary.
Yeah, she did.
They made her look really scary.
I wonder if there are any conspiracy theories out there, or whatever theories out there, of who the little girl is that Belle taught to read. Like maybe she becomes Pocahontas.
Well,
I don't think the timing works out there.
But
We don't know the race of that little girl yet.
Well, I think she's probably French.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, then we get the townspeople being just big old dicks to Belle, and then Gaston thinking he's gonna dicks. Go. There's a certain damsel in distress, and then they go and talk, right?
Ugh. Annoying. And that's where he has a song in the musical. He's like, come on.
Yes. That's the one that they cut from this one, and I don't actually remember that in the cartoon one either.
It's not. It's not. They just talk. Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Like I watched a little clip of it, and it's cool. Like
yeah, I agree.
He talks about how great he is, but I guess he talked about how great he is 2 other times in songs in this show. So maybe they were like, you know what, 2's enough.
Yeah, I think like time wise, I don't care that much about Gaston, and especially if Luke Evans is going to be a scrawny little thing.
You really disagree with that casting choice. You really wanted to stare at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson walking through this provincial town.
That's like the size that Gaston should be, I feel.
What if they cast Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Gaston?
I wouldn't be surprised. And honestly, like maybe he would have been like more fun.
Maybe. I do you think someone could maybe fund a WrestleMania version of Beauty and the Beast?
Amazing. I would
where
love it.
Hulk Hogan plays the Beast.
Okay.
I like that.
Weird.
And Belle is played by, you know what? That's pretty sexist of me. I can't name a single woman wrestler. Okay, so then Belle's dad leaves to go into town, evidently to deliver his clock, which, what a life. I built this clock. I'm going to go sell it.
He's
and pick
going
up
to
a
like
rose.
some fair. Yeah. Going
Yep.
into Paris.
And then Wolf Attack 2017.
Wow. Those wolves. What a nightmare.
Yeah. What a nightmare.
I'm so scared.
Can you believe it?
Can you possibly believe how upset I am at the memory of those wolves?
Yep. The wolves attack, and then he...
No, but it was scary.
It was a well-done scene.
Yeah.
And then so he... Papa finds his way to the castle.
Which was an interesting scene, I thought.
Yeah, it was fun. Does he sit down and Chip talks to him, was it?
Yeah, which so. I'm pretty sure, like, in the cartoon, Dad, like, starts to meet all the enchanted things, and he's, like, delighted by them, and he's very excited, and then the Beast, and he's not scared, and the Beast, like, finds him, like, sitting by the fire, using the chair, using the leg rest, dog, etc.,
yeah.
And it gets mad that way.
Wonder why the rose thing, because you know, I noted this, like, it seems a little dramatic to lock someone in jail for the rest of their lives just for stealing one of your roses off of your several rose trees, Beast.
Yeah, like, it was such a strange choice to me, too, because it was like, he's already leaving. Like, why are you... You're such a little bitch. Like,
right.
Stop. Like,
such a little bitch,
didn't you learn your lesson by getting cursed? And now you're gonna be like an extra bitch.
Maybe he's got like some weird hang up about roses because there's the rose hanging out there. It's like I have to protect all roses. He's real OCD about roses.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. I was like, this isn't the enchanted one. Like, what do you care?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's got some hang up. He wants to protect.
I mean,
all the
obviously,
roses.
like, he's so sad. He's a beast, whatever. I get it. He's bummed and butthurt. But, like, it was a strange... That was another one that I was like, this is just such a small change that was, like, unnecessary and, like, didn't make sense. And, like, it doesn't take me out of the story, and it's fine. And it didn't stop me from enjoying it. But it was just a strange choice, I thought, to change.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to learn, like, were the writers, do they have rationale for it, or they were like, well, we just wanted to be just a little different?
Yeah. Like, I'm sure there was rationale, but I don't know if it was just different to be different or not, you know?
Yeah, it seems weird. But...
And totally fine, like, I was, whatever, you know?
Yeah, but...
However you want to do it, you're making the
choice.
Movie, not me, but it was just like, why did you change it? I don't get it.
I think, the writers will be glad to learn that they have your permission to write it the way they want.
Like, do your job, I'm fine with it. If you have to, but like you should have consulted
fuck
me.
Off.
No, not fuck off. Just like ask my opinion next time.
That's right, exactly. The MusiPals are the authority on these sorts of things.
Yes, duh.
All right, so then I think we can kind of fast forward a little because I think everyone kind of knows Belle trades places with her dad without him knowing.
Yeah, but I just want to say, like, they did such a great job of animating the characters. Like, Cogsworth and Lumiere, like, look so cool.
They did such a nice job. Yeah, they really are great. Like, where the wolves were maybe a little bit poorly CGI'd, everything else was incredibly CGI'd.
Yeah, but it didn't even bother me, the wolves. But, like, the design of every character is, like, really great, I thought.
Yeah, they did a really, really nice job with the characters. Yeah, especially Gaston, not Gaston, Lumiere, who's all Lumiere and Cogsworth, who are all like very intricately designed. Really cool.
I loved that he still had his two legs sometimes, but then like sometimes like put them together to be one. I thought it was a cool choice. I liked it.
Yep. Yeah, and we see a lot more of that in 2 songs from now.
And
Broadcast, of course.
A change I really loved was the feather duster, like looking like a dove,
like a bird,
instead of like a French maid. Like that
Yeah.
was such an amazing choice, because I thought the French maid was like a little
on the nose.
oh yeah, just like a little like too like sexed up, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose there's a lot of sexualization.
I found it like a little
French maid.
sexist, I guess. I like making her like this beautiful bird that he loves, instead of like Lumiere being some horn dog.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting that, like, in today's day and age, like, we've been watching a lot of early 2000s movies lately, and they're so inappropriate. Like, so many things where you're just like, okay, we have to just set aside that this is going to, like, it's going to say some really offensive, inappropriate stuff because it was in the 2000s. When you remake a movie like this, you gotta be pretty careful about all the decisions you're making, because what was acceptable or tolerable in the 90s just because no one was talking about it is not the same now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Which is great, like great reasons why they made Belle much more sort of independent and more like an action star than I think a damsel in distress.
I think so too, but I think in the cartoon, like, she's still very strong.
Yeah, she is, but I don't think to quite the same extent.
I don't know. I disagree, I think.
Well,
she didn't invent a washing machine, but like that doesn't make you a feminist.
Yes, it does. This is in the Feminist Handbook.
Okay, well, I've never invented a washing machine, Daniel.
Well, then put 2 and 2 together, Katie. I guess you're not a feminist.
I guess I can't technically be a feminist. So I didn't invent the washing machine.
Well, and that's what all conservatives are all butthurt about, to use your phrase.
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm not gonna go out here and invent a washing machine. I'm not interested.
It's already been invented. I can't do
this
it.
This is useless. I'm all for they're all for equal rights.
I own one. I can't invent it.
They just don't want to invent a washing machine. It's just it's laziness is what it comes down to.
It's laziness. I know it. I know it.
Anyway, so they switch.
Trades places. She's in the house.
Papa comes back to town, and then we get before he enters the scene, we get Gaston doing his really more Josh Gad. What is his character's name? I forget.
LeFou.
Doing the song about Gaston, who he clearly has a crush on.
Yes, and that change again in that song, I was like, don't change that song. It's already good. What did they change? They like added that dance break, and they changed the order of the verses and the lyrics.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It just like they ended on using antlers in all of my decorating, right?
I don't know. Come on.
I'm pretty sure that was
these notes.
I'm pretty sure that that's the lyric they decided to end on, where like that's an amazing line. So funny. But that's not the one that you like focus the whole song, like that's the main point. Like that's not how you end the song. It was just strange. It was just, again, like this is a strange choice to make these little changes that like are kind of weird.
Yeah, and you know what? I would never have noticed. So I never would have noticed that they changed that song. Like,
such a fun scene, and what a great song, and we love it. But like, just weird, again, changes that didn't take anything away, but just like made me cock my head and be like, this is a weird decision again.
Yeah. And therein lies the key difference between a Muse noob and a Muse nerd.
Yes, that's probably very true. Like no one else would know. Yeah.
No, yeah. Like I'm just gonna be like, I'm bored no matter what happens. And you're like, they changed 4 lyrics.
Okay, but they changed the order, and it was strange. It's strange to end on I use antlers in all of my decorating. While a very fun fact about Gaston, not the most important thing about Gaston.
Well, I mean, is anything he says in that? Is there anything important about Gaston? Like, he's just a bro. Like, there's not much depth there.
I guess, but definitely him using antlers and all of his decorating is not the most important part.
That's true. That's very true. All right, so with that upset, with that issue covered off on, Papa, does he have a name, by the way? I'm just keep calling him Papa.
I think it's just, I'm sure he has a name, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's not important. He enlists Gaston's help, and then we cut to probably I might say the most famous song from the show.
Oh!
What?
Okay. We have to go back, because there is a different change. Sorry.
Okay, what is it? We don't have to go back. Just tell me what's the change.
So in the cartoon, there's like a little break in the action, and Gaston's feeling better, and he's like, I have a plan now, LeFou. And he's like, first we, then we, and he's like whispering, then we, and then they make the whole plan during that song to like. But
like, I totally didn't need that.
No, I agree, but it was just a change. Anyway, let's continue.
Well, I mean,
that was like point, a big
those
plot
sorts of changes
change.
Might have been like,
because it makes Gaston more evil if he's like.
Yeah, that's true.
Because in this movie, Gaston was like not that big of a dick in the beginning. Like he was like kind of a jerk and like a bro and like not someone who Belle would choose, but like he wasn't pushy. Dummy. He wasn't rude to her. Like she didn't know that he was an asshole, and so Belle kind of looked like a dick for like blowing him off like that because he was like kind of nice. And then in this he's trying to help her dad and like believes him and is like, well, if you say that there's like a crazy person, then I'll believe you. And they like go to the thing, and then once he's wrong, then Gaston gets mad and like changes him to a tree, which is bad, evil behavior, very bad. But at first he's like believing him and going along with it. So the changes to Gaston's character are strange because like
that is interesting. Yeah,
they made him more human or something. Maybe because Luke Evans was like, I don't want to play a dick and like ruin my reputation. I don't know, but like
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. I don't know why they made that change though, because like just make him a villain. I don't need like a 3D. Yeah. Like
but I don't
full
really
complex human.
I don't ever really remember him as a villain in the cartoon, but like I guess you're right. These nuances kind of all add up.
He's not like evil at first, but he's definitely like he ignores everything that Belle says. He like drops her in the mud. He like isn't paying attention to her. He's still just paying attention to himself.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the movie, he's not doing those things. And in the stage show, he does do those. Like, it's in the choreography that he, like, drops her on the ground and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I wonder.
I think the changes in that scene were strange to me. Like, him going, like, okay, Maurice, like, take me to the castle. Like, was a weird choice. It more
approachable? No. I'm trying to think.
Because I don't get why they would, like, want to make Gaston seem like a nicer guy.
Yeah, right.
It was just
you want him to be an asshole, chauvinist, like proud of himself.
I feel like that's the point. Is like, yeah. I don't know. I
mean, he's the closest thing to a villain in this whole movie. So, they kind of switch places. The Beast and Gaston.
And over the course of the story, he gets to be like an evil villain. But
maybe they wanted to create that trade-off a little more dramatically, because in the beginning Gaston's sort of like, yeah, he's not so bad of a guy, he's fine, he's almost a nice guy, but the Beast is very much a villain, right? He's attacking the dad, he's locking Belle up, he's screaming at Belle,
but
then slowly the sort of
true colors come out, I guess,
like and it swaps, right? I wonder if they just wanted to make that swap a little more obvious, perhaps.
Yeah, that makes sense, perhaps.
So there we go. We'll say that's how it did.
Yes.
Okay, then into just be our guest. Can I just... Belle is a strong, independent woman, and that's great. How the hell are you not more frightened by a massive bear lion man with horns? What? She's screaming in his face, telling him that she's not going to come down. What do you Do you see what you're staring at? This thing has fangs. It has a muzzle. It has horns. It's 8 feet tall. Are you kidding me? I would cower in fear. That's my bone to pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the beast is scary. I don't know what
she's
it
fearless.
is. I think perhaps she's just so fearless that she's like, no one's going to be a dick to me no matter what. I don't care if I'm afraid of you. Like, you're being rude, and I'm going to like let you know that you're being rude.
A monster. Like, anyway, then we jump into, like I was saying, I think probably the most famous song to ever come out of this, even more than the Beauty and the Beast song, is Be Our Guest.
Yeah, so this is my second complaint about Emma Watson. My only complaint.
What?
These enchanted ass items are putting on this truly delightful, magical show for you.
It's a
and you can't even open your mouth to smile. She just has this like pleasant, like neutral grin on her face watching this whole thing.
She's in awe.
No, she wasn't, because I was in awe and my full face was lit up. My mouth was agape looking at this scene.
Literally dropped.
I mean, it was literally dropped. I can't, like, literally dropped. Like, show some damn emotion. You're used to acting with the green screen. You've done it your whole life and your whole career. Be excited at this damn delightful musical number.
I was far too distracted by the spectacle of the scene and
the spectacle was amazing, and then it kept cutting back to her, and she was like kind of bored. I was like, Belle, this is cool.
I love that. Where she's like, this is nice.
She was like, this is pleasant. Like, no.
This is a delightful experience.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, I get that you're sad that you're never going to see your dad again and now you're a prisoner. I get it. This is cool. Let yourself escape into the moment for a second. Like,
she's playing coy. She doesn't want to dive in just
yet. She doesn't even look sad, though. She's just, like, neutral. Like, I'm bored and I want to go home and I'm done filming for today. And I'm upset that I have to be here.
We have done Be Our Guest 48 times in the last
and this
days.
Is the reaction shot the editors chose. Ridiculous.
You know what? I never noticed. Too distracted. You can't see. The problem is you can't bring up an issue you've had with any scene that Emma Watson is in, because I'm just assuming you're gonna watch it again. But yeah, I will.
And just pay attention to what her face is like in that scene.
I pay attention to her face, but not the things around it. So
Daniel, this is bordering on creepy.
It is, and I know it is, and every time I say it, I go, just stop. Just give it a rest. But gosh, she's just so gorgeous. Anyway.
All right. She's delightful in every other scene in this movie. Please give me some acting and Be Our Guest, Emma Watson.
You know, every time I see the beast attack the wolves, part of me is sort of going, oh, poor wolves. I feel so bad for the wolves.
I'm like... Wow, how romantic.
Don't hurt those wolves. Don't hurt them. Just kill the beast. Yeah. I don't know. I feel bad for him.
Amazing.
And then we have, the beast saves Belle from the dogs, and then she saves the beast, brings him back home. And then we get the scene, I guess this is where Gaston does his flip. Yes, I think this further satisfies my prediction. Like, the two scenes right next to each other are the turning points for both of those characters.
Yeah.
The beast is taken home, and that's where he's now, okay, he's a good guy. Or he saves the wolves, so saves her from the wolves. He's now a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Gaston slaps the dad and then ties him to a tree. Okay, yeah, you're now the villain.
Yikes. So. And how graphic to tie someone to a tree and just leave them to die.
Yeah, what a thing.
That's we'll so extreme. That's like such an extreme. And it's so dramatic. Yep. Like, he could have just shot him, but he was like, no, I'm gonna like let you be torn apart by forest creatures.
Seriously.
And slowly starve to death.
Slowly bleed out.
Yeah, like
from wolf wounds.
Just like so dramatic, like so like Roman, like so,
All right, so now we go to Days in the Sun. So recently in the move from Chicago to Los Angeles, you have to go through all of your shit. After you've lived in one city for 5 years and moved to another one, you've got to go through your stuff
sense.
and figure out what do you still need. And Liv was getting so mad at me because I was like, no, I need to keep that broken hairbrush because my step cousin's aunt gave it to me one year, like just making up some random ass story that was not legitimate at all. And she was like calling me a hoarder, and I was like, God, I guess I kind of am. And then I realized, how the fuck could you blame me for being a hoarder when I was raised on a movie where these items just want their lives back? They just want to be humans again. How do I not project that in my own reality? Come on.
You're reaching, but I'll agree with you if you want to.
It's exactly what happened. I'm attached to inanimate objects because of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, but here's the deal. You're not
it's your
attached
fault,
to
Andrew
a
Lloyd
candelabra.
Webber.
It's not Andrew Lloyd Webber. You're not attached to a damn, like, grandfather clock. You're attached to, like...
Yes, I am. We had to throw out my grandfather clock.
Did you? That's sad. I'm sorry.
I don't own a grandfather clock.
I'm sorry, babe. Yeah. I'm sorry.
What it comes down to is that hoarders are just people who watch Beauty and the Beast too many times. It's a fact.
I guess. I don't think you can blame it for your hoarding, though. I think that's...
Nope, I blame it.
Okay.
All right, and then the originally the Enchantress, but is really just a poor lady, saves Belle's dad, and then we get the just wonderful, delightful melody of Something There. It's so nice. It's so nice.
I don't remember it, but...
Okay, well, it's great.
Something There that wasn't there before that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. It is delightful.
It's such a wonderful, but it doesn't matter how beautiful the melody is. There's no beautiful enough melody that will allow me to forget the fact that this is a human woman falling in love with a bear lion man with horns. This is a woman falling in love with a creature.
It's really exceptional, but you also just have to suspend your disbelief. Take it for the metaphor that it is, that love transforms you, and just
it's just like, this is a woman fucking a dog.
Well, they don't have sex when he's a beast. But
well, I guess you're right. We don't know that, at least.
They kiss, but they don't bang.
They do kiss.
They for sure don't bang. We know that for sure that they don't bang.
We don't know that for sure. You don't have to
We know
kiss,
that for sure. We know that for sure.
I don't know.
I'm 2,000,000% positive.
I don't think you can be.
I know that I can be.
I think they have sex. It's bestiality.
I think you want something to be there that isn't there.
Something that wasn't there before.
I think you really are fishing, and I think you really are too into the idea of this.
Yeah, I'm into bestiality. What of it?
What of it? Oh God! Oh God!
So then they're getting ready for the dance, and do you think that when they were writing this, they just got super fucking high? Somebody and was like, listen. What if a bear with horns falls in love with a girl, and he asks his clock and candle and his tea kettle how to kiss her?
Dan,
is there something there? Is there a story there? That's how it happened. I'm certain of it.
That's not how it happened, because this story has existed for all of eternity.
It doesn't matter. That's how it happened. Listen, guys, I got a great idea. Let's quit talking. I got a great idea. It's a bear with horns. And he talks to his hairbrush. I think so, he comes back, the dad comes back and says, Gaston did this thing to me, and Gaston's like, you're crazy, you're a crazy person. And so they decide they're going to take him to the insane asylum. And that's when we get the two-way jam of Beauty and the Beast and then the new song Evermore. first, of course, we got to talk about that title song, OMG.
OMG, so beautiful.
And Emma Thompson again. I've determined that like the name Emma is like the Midas touch of names. Like every Emma is great. Can you think of one bad Emma? I can't. I can think of only bad Brendans.
I have like personal drama with an Emma.
Well, then that's your fault.
I don't know.
Emmas are always right. Always right.
I don't know, man.
There's no bad Emma. Again, there are only bad Brendans. Brendan is the worst possible name. But
yeah,
Emma's
I've never known
perfect.
a good Brendan. Sorry, Brendan.
Terrible
He's not
name.
listening to this podcast, though, so it's okay.
Of course not. If he were, then he might be a good Brendan, but he's not. And then, of course, this is what my song that I wrote for this podcast is loosely based on, but both a little scared, neither one prepared. It's the MusiPals.
That's us. Such a beautiful scene. Like, I'm so glad they like really did it justice in this live action. Like,
yeah, and then they have sex afterwards.
No, they don't. They talk, and then she goes home to find her dad.
Yeah, that is an important moment. And then initially, I wasn't okay with Evermore. Like, I thought, why are you adding another song? But on second view, it's a really nicely written song, and I like the sort of deep baritone of it as well. But
good, yes, I agree.
It really nicely says like, well, shit. Turns out I'm pretty hot for this girl, and never gonna see her again, and that sucks. It says that nicely. It's a nice moment. It's a cool juxtaposition with the Mob song too, because it's really well written, and you get that nice baritone, and then you get this like shrill sort of screaming of the next song, which is the Mob song.
Yes, and I really like the Beast song from the musical too.
Oh, there's a different one for the musical.
It's a different one. And it's called If I Can't Love Her, and he's very sad that Beauty has gone, and he's
that seems cornier than Evermore.
It's very corny, but Evermore was like corny too. They're both corny. They're both the Beast is an angsty teen, like we know this, really and they're both good songs. I like them both.
Yeah, it's a nice reminder that they're in love.
I know it's very sweet and
a perfect specimen of a human.
I think they did a good job with their romance.
Yeah, even though it's really weird.
Even though you like it too much, they did a good job with it.
I'm saying it's creepy that they have sex. So the Mob, I think we all kind of know. Like we can kind of rush through it. Like there are great moments, but all the things come to are like the Mob breaks through. All the things come to life and are kind of fighting against the Mob.
I'm glad they kept like the humor of the fight too from the
it wasn't
cartoon.
Overly dramatic.
Yeah.
And Josh Gad's character changes sides.
Yeah, turning sides. I like that too.
Yeah, that was great. That was nice. And in the song, it's like a perfect line to represent the mid 2010s. They say, we don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us.
What's still happening today?
I know. It's like this song was popular in the fucking 80s, people. And how are you still... Them Muslims, they gonna kill us because that's all they want to do.
Yes.
Like, how do you not understand? I like this. It's the same lessons being taught over and over again. At some point, you got to get it through your thick, southern dumbass skull.
Dumbass skull.
God, wow. No, they're northern. They're idiots in the north as well. So I don't want to be too. I don't want to be regionalist.
Regionist,
but Regis Philbin. Anyway, that was a great line, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of sad actually. Yeah. So the fight scene was cool. The Gaston shooting the Beast was like, I don't know. It was really like deranged almost. Like,
yeah,
he shoots him a lot of times, But he shoots him like a lot. Like I feel like I remember in the cartoon he maybe shoots him once or twice. In this, he like gets a crazy person face on. He's firing like 4 or 5 shots into his chest and his shoulders.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Very, very crazy. But Gaston, he's just like a straight up evil dude.
Yeah, and it's like a full, like he's lost it at that point, which they did a nice job showing.
Yeah, which is like such a, like, what a little baby.
What a little bitch, Gaston.
Like, oh, you lost for once in your life? Like,
so now you're going to murder this thing?
Fucking get over it. And then I liked the Enchantress coming back a lot. I'm glad that they made her part bigger.
Yeah, that was cool.
In this movie, and her like coming back at the end and being like, okay, like he ran out of time, but she loves him a lot, and like I'll just like make them be happy now. So,
like this wasn't a really set in stone curse. It was like maybe
I'm the boss,
maybe,
so
maybe
I can
not.
change whatever rules I want, and
like whatever, it was close enough.
I made it, I'll break it,
Yeah, like that perfect human just kissed that bear lion man on the lips, so whatever, this is fine.
Okay, but the actor who played him, like, he's from Downton Abbey, and he's so dreamy. He's like such a dreamboat. He's
that's funny.
So handsome.
I was thinking as I was watching it, like, I kind of want an alternate ending where he becomes a man and Belle's like, ooh,
gosh, this doesn't work for me.
I guess can you do the beast thing again?
I liked you a lot more.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna head on out of here.
Yikes.
You do you though.
I'm so busy. I have so much going on.
I forgot I have to be at a convention right now.
I forgot all these plans.
So I'll leave you my my address. And bye.
But also, like, how heartbreaking was each of their deaths? Like, of course, we all know the story going in. Like, we know exactly what happens. We know it ends happy. I was, like, seriously crying as each of them died, like, one by one. It was so sad. Yeah. But then how happy when they came back to life.
Yeah, and then you're like, and like the audience is like, oh, I didn't realize that was the actor who played that person.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So then it ends and everyone lives happily ever after. Beautiful.
Yes, beautiful. Good.